Hi, it's Jason from Blue Border Games here with another video for my skirmish miniature game Loot and Legacy. This is one of the designer notes sort of videos where I give a bit of background on the lore for the game, maybe a game mechanic or even the process of game development. This video though is going to be about the use of magic in the game. That's right. Why should dwarves be allowed to cast spells? Well, this will hopefully tell you why. So being a fantasy skirmish miniature game, Loot and Legacy is inevitably going to have an element of magic. It's a key component for most fantasy games. But the core game for Loot and Legacy is obviously based around the Great Mountain, where there are three dwarf clans. Yes, there will be factions in the future that are non-dwarf, but the three core ones are going to be dwarves. So there's always this debate throughout the sort of gaming world as to whether or not dwarves should be spellcasters, and I agree with some of the ones that say no, they shouldn't be, because a dwarf sort of casting a spell that's changing someone into a frog or maybe teleporting isn't really very dwarfish. So yes, it would just be a dwarf wizard, two sort of opposite elements or different elements. So I felt that there was still a need for magic, and that could still involve dwarves, but there needed to be some sort of three or a couple of rules to follow, and these are the ones that I'm explaining as to why it's okay to have dwarfs that cast spells. And the first one is that it needs to be thematic. And what do I mean by that? Well, it needs to feel dwarfish. If they're going to cast spells, then yes, it needs to feel right. And what we have with the three clans are two particular that do have a sort of really strong affinity with the Great Mountain in different ways. You have Clan Nocturne that worships the living spirit, and that's represented in most of the cases in their minds by lava and fire. So a spellcaster from Clan Nocturne would be very much sort of linked to those sort of elements. The same with Delve. Then they're about working the earth and the stone and the ores. So they've still also got a strong affinity, but likewise, they would only be sort of dealing with spell casting or have spells that link directly with those facets of the mountain. So for me, thematic spells were, or thematic themes for spellcaster was very, very important. The easiest way we can do that is through having books of spells, just like any other sort of magic users. So for Clan Nocturne, we have the Book of Fire. So the spells that are available there would be linked to lava and fire. So you have Fireball, you have Raise Lava. So again, this is very thematic for Clan Nocturne. Likewise for Clan Delve with their Mountain Acolytes. Mountain Wardens, you have spells that raise the ground, or perhaps enable a fighter to have stone skin. So for me, for the game, if there are going to be spellcasters, they have to be very thematic, and that's how I've, in my mind, made it sort of okay or maybe comfortable in having dwarf spellcasters, only because it's thematic. No teleportation, no turning people into frogs. Keep it on theme, and that'll be the same with the future factions as well. I'll be following that rule. So for example, the Northern Raiders will probably have the Book of Ice because they come from a ice and snow sort of covered tundra. The free folk of the sort of halfling type who like their food could probably have the Book of Victuals. So again, it's really important to be thematic. The second rule or guidance point that I used was that it needs to be limited. We've all played in games where spellcasters have been probably a little bit overpowered, particularly when they have a sort of wide range of spells to choose from, and also perhaps sometimes a larger number or infinite. And I think it's important to again limit it to the theme that we just talked about, and also I've limited that number. So each spell book, Book of Fire, Book of Stone, etc., that has only 4 spells in it, and spellcasters without upgrades can only take 2 into the game. So again, it's still keeping it thematic, it's still keeping it limited, but making sure that magic doesn't become the sort of focus point for the game, because that's certainly not the intention. It is, of course, the loot. The third sort of rule or guidance point then that I use was that, yeah, simple spell casting. Simple casting. And the easiest way to do that is to link it in with the sort of common mechanism that's found throughout the game, and that's the use of the add system, the attack defense dice. So rather than a numerical roll for casting a spell, which might have modifiers, may have a table to refer to, or this, that, the other, keep it simple, keep it familiar to the player, and that's by using those attack defense dice. One roll, and you know straight away as to whether or not you've been successful. So yes, those are the three sort of guidance or points or rules that for me make it okay to have dwarfs that cast spells, but also sets the rules and sets the sort of setting for all the other factions that may or may not have spellcasters. So we have thematic, limited, and spells that are easy to cast. Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like or leave a comment about your thoughts about it. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can be updated as to when we release new videos. Also, follow us on Facebook and you can keep updated on progress on the game, any developments and insights into how we are moving things forward. As I said, I hope you liked the video. Keep in touch, and I've been Jason from Blue Border Games.